So, hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have with us Dr. Tina Mukherjee, who is an eminent scientist in the field of biology at Institute for Stem Cell Science and Regenerative Medicine. Today we are going to be interviewing her as a part of the career series, which I'll be uploading more videos of. It's a series where I'll be interviewing people from different careers to learn more about careers and also to spread awareness about different careers. I'm Tejas Chukki, studying in class 9, and I just forgot, but I would like Dr. Tina to introduce herself.
I am Tina Mukherjee and I am a faculty at STEM, and Tejas, you already told that I am an eminent scientist, although it's very grateful of you, Tejas, to introduce me like that. I'm a simple scientist in my own world here at STEM and working on how blood development happens. So we all have blood cells in our body which are important for immunity, and when we fall sick, these are the blood cells actually that will fight the pathogen, and we want to know where blood cells come from using a very interesting model system which is called the fruit fly, and flies do have blood, and that is what our labs tries to understand using a very simple insect model how blood cells develop.
Thank you for that. So let's kick off the interview. Why did you choose biology as your career, and how did you develop interest in it?
I chose biology because I was always interested in living forms, and as much as the physical aspects of the environment around us dictates a lot that we do, but as a living species, how we engage with the physicalities around us is very exciting, because the way you respond to music, I may not respond to the same music, right? So we have differences, and biology allows you to understand these differences, and I wanted to always know, why am I different from my sister, or how are we, even though coming from the same parents, we are so different. So that is what led me to choose biology.
My second question would be, how did you become a scientist? How many things did you have to cross to become a scientist here?
I think I always was interested in research back from when I actually started exploring biology in more detail. I was always intrigued by the question how and why not this way. So and as you asked, how many degrees to come to becoming an academician, it is a long drawn career. It is a very long drawn career, because after you finish your school, you have to do an undergraduation, which is 3 years in a field of biology or chemistry or in science, followed by a master's. So if you have a 5-year integrated BS, MS degree, after that you have to do a PhD, which allows you to earn a doctorate in science. So that is the highest level of degree that you will get and you will need, and then which is a 5-year to 6-year long process, the PhD. Then if you want to come this far as an academician, it requires you to have also undertaken a postdoctoral trajectory, which now can be ranging from 3 to 5 to 7 years. My postdoctoral tenure was for 8 years. I worked as a postdoctoral fellow for 8 years. So it's almost 13 years of very, very enormous amount of hard work to then become an academician. It is a long drawn career. Yeah.
So, why did you choose to be a faculty in an academic institution?
I think the freedom to ask questions, the freedom to solve questions. So if you are a scientist, you always are curious about things around you, and you're always asking yourself questions. Arey, how did this happen? Why is this insect doing this? Where did the leaf get its color from? So you're always asking these kind of questions, right, to yourself. Now if you want to answer these questions, you need a place to work where you can answer these questions, right?
Yes.
Because if there is something that is happening, you want to explore this. Why is this happening? I want to ask. An academic institution is a place which offers this freedom to explore whatever you want to do. If you're in a company, you will have to do what the company says, because the company's goal is to cure cancer. Your goal may be to understand why leaves are orange, pink and green, or the leaf has a pattern, right? The butterfly has its spots, and all butterflies don't have the same kind of spots. Your questions may be like that, but the company is only wanting to understand cancer or neurodegeneration. So how do you explore butterfly spots or butterflies wing pattern thing? You need the freedom, right? So academic institutions across the world still have that freedom where you can explore your own indigenous questions. So I chose to become a faculty here.
Is it hard to organize your own lab?
See, it's all about, so when you play football or any sports you play, do you think it's hard?
So sometimes maybe when you have to learn new things and
Correct, but afterwards it's team effort and you build it together, right? So yes, it is exactly like that. When you begin, it is new. But then once you slowly develop a team and you start building trust, then it's part of the game. Then you're playing with your team, right? So it's fun, it is risky, and you're learning new things. You do make mistakes, so you may have a goal which you couldn't catch. So we also do have that kind of situations where we may have misses, but we also have successes. It is not easy, because you're working, I may be one person, but I work with a group of students and people, right? And all of us have to be happy to work together with each other. So it is a team game and a team sport, team effort, and exactly how you play any team sport is what operates also into building a lab. You have a captain, but the captain has to follow the team.
think about everyone. And
Correct.
so how does a day in your life look at, like here at the lab, at office?
Very busy, very busy, because you are good friends with my son.
Yes.
So I have 3 kids and I have a dog. I have a very hectic family life, and I have a very hectic lab life. I wake up very early, almost 5:30. I try to exercise a little bit for myself, and then once I've sent my kids to school, like you will go to school, your mama will help you go to school, then all working mamas, we come to the lab and then we try to focus. And now I have to focus with my students and try to help them work through their projects, work through their questions, sit with them, design experiments, sit with them to write papers, do corrections if they have written something, go back and forth, do these corrections. So it is and then by 5:36 or 6:30 I am more or less done with my lab. So it's a lot of different kind of things we do. We have lab meetings, we have journal clubs, but we also have some lab outings sometimes when we are very tired and exhausted. I do try to take my lab out for some excursions, like we go for hikes. So it's also it's a science. It's a lot of science, but also non-scientific activities that we need to do as recreation, and these are part of my life of the lab, and then I go back home and come back again next day morning.
So have you ever been bored of your work?
No,
Never?
never. Because are you bored of playing any sport?
No.
Because you're so happy doing it. That's exactly the same thing here. I don't think scientists are bored of what they do. I don't think. They can be frustrated at what they do, but they're never bored. Frustrated because, like, you want to hit a goal.
Yes.
You're not getting it right, but you want to hit the goal, right?
Yes.
You can be frustrated at your kicks and your techniques, but you're never bored at hitting a goal.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes.
So it is like that. We want to do things, we may be frustrated because the experiments are not working, or student did a mistake, or I did a mistake, or money is not there for doing the kind of work that we want to do, but never bored. Because the enthusiasm to do it is so high, because the question is so exciting to me. The point is about solving the question. To solve the question or to hit the goal is so exciting. Boredom is never a choice.
Yes.
You get it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us of our age would understand, because when our mind doesn't really go to study, it's sports and
Correct. You like sports because it's so naturally enthusiastic.
and intriguing.
Because you want to do it.
Yes.
Studies at your age is difficult or boring, I understand, because
Yeah.
you're forced to do something. But imagine if you start writing the books because you developed all that knowledge. So if you start writing about how to hit the goal, the best goal, will you be bored at writing it?
No.
Yeah, because it's so exciting. I hit a goal like this, so I'm going to write it so easily, right? So it's about enthusiasm and the excitement to do something.
So, what are the qualities of a good scientist according to you?
I think for me, I would say the most important quality is the curiosity.
Yes.
If you're curious about things, you have that bent to become a scientist. Because scientists are not, they're just people who are generally curious about things. And it doesn't mean I'm only curious about my things. I'm curious about even things that you tell me or anybody. We're just curious people. Yes, we have chosen to ask a question that is very dear to us. But generally, the foremost important quality is to be curious. To always have this, bent of, how did this happen? What happened? Why did the insect eat the other insect up? Oh, look, that insect is carrying a larger size insect. How? That insect is so small, but then it can carry a big spider. How? So you're always curious. And the other thing which is important, I think very important now is to not get disheartened. Because when I was a PhD student and when I was in my masters, all our professors told me or told us as we were students, said that majority of your work, 90% of the work that we will do will go into the dustbin, because everything will be negative. Like when you try to hit the goal or try to play, maybe of your 10 kicks, 9 ended here and there, right? But that one ended there. Next time it will be 2, next time it will be 3. So you keep getting better by being persistent. These days we are not persistent, we lose it, we lose interest. We may be curious, but because it is tough, you lose interest. So when you start losing interest, you can't solve things, right?
One kick keeps you going.
Correct.
The next one.
Yes, maybe there will be 100 kicks that don't happen, but the 101 may happen. But we will only get there when you give that 101 kick the shot. So it is very important to understand that patience and hard work are equally important. You may be curious, you may have the intuitions, you may have the intellect, you may be curious, but if you don't have the patience to hold on to it, like if you have the grit that I want to do it and I want to solve, then even if you have hundreds of negative results, you will still say, oh, I did not try this, so I'm going to try it now. So that level of motivation has to come from within you. So you have to be a very, very motivated person.
So, what do you love and hate about your job the most?
Honestly, I don't hate. I hate parts of my job which are not scientific. I don't hate the scientific part of my job because science is always very exciting. Imagine when you see, India sending rockets to moon and space. Are you disheartened? Are you annexed?
No,
So exciting.
Curious.
Being an astronaut is such an exciting part, right? Or anything to do with science. Even when you go to science museums, do you get bored? No, because it's so exciting, right?
You just learn something new.
Yeah, you'll always seeing new things. Look at what social media, where did it come from, or the artificial intelligence. You can now talk to ChatGPT or these artificial intelligence platform like a human interacting with you, right? So this is also exciting. Where has it come from? From science, right? So the boring part or frustrating part of science is gradually, there is limitation of resources, limitation of money. Everything that you do, it's like running a household. How much your house can afford depends on how much income you have. You may want to have a big mansion, or you may want to have a big car, but you may not have the money, right? So the frustrating part is how to keep the science going, because science is also a part of business. I have people working, I have to buy reagents, I have to support these experiments, right? So the most frustrating part of science is, in my job, is to be able to support it financially. I think that is the hardest part. And the most exciting part is that you have the chance to make great discoveries. Great discoveries happen through science, right? Newton saw the apple fall. Would you have thought that this was such a great discovery?
Yes.
So many things were falling for other people, but it was the mind of that one man to say, why did it fall? So this led to a great discovery of gravitation.
He basically made the whole world, the structure.
Correct. Imagine, this power of great discovery is what scientists have.
So you said you have a really busy day, office, home. How do you manage it? Would you give any tips to our young generation?
You don't have such a household to manage, so you wouldn't need a tip now. But I think you should see it from your mama and your father, how they keep you going. Yeah, you should see it from your parents, because most of our parents are working, or they're working very hard, be it at home, be it offices, managing two places. We have to do that. And I think if you closely see your mama and papa, you will know exactly how to do it. It is a very fine balancing act which each parent is doing, sending kids off to school and then making sure they are fine there, and only when we know they are fine there, we can focus on our work. The minute you have a sickness or something, school call comes, we drop everything at work, we go to pick our kids up. So it is always a fine balancing act, and I think to be happy doing this is very important. It should not be taken up as stress or burden. I mean, I can be alone and do everything for myself, but since I have a large family, or since we have kids, and it is always important to be able to balance. And you can see it how your parents do it, and you will appreciate them.
So also you learn it through the way doing it.
Absolutely, you're so smart, huh? Yes, you learn it through the way. Yes, you make mistakes, but then you will like my kids tell me, Mama, you're not spending much time on me, you're so busy all the time. True, we are very busy not because I'm doing things, but my mind is always occupied about the question or the problem that we are trying to solve. So we are always very busy, but some point of time I have to tell myself, shut yourself off, focus on your home, family, now that you're home, and then yeah.
Okay, so now to the last question. What would you describe as success in your field?
The Nobel Prize. That's a success in this field. That's where discoveries get appreciated. Not saying that this is the success, but for inspiring young kids and young minds, I think Nobel Prize is one that one can relate to, or the Fields Award for mathematics. So these are given to fundamental discoveries, and science is much larger than awards also. I think that for me the biggest satisfaction is that when I have been able to see if I framed a hypothesis. So if I see something and I tell myself through the knowledge that I have gathered, I can probably do an experiment or plan an experiment, and if the experiment comes to say yes, you are right, that is why this is happening. Say if I hypothesize why the butterflies of different species have different type of spots, they don't all look alike. Come up with an experiment and I do it and I get the answer telling me that I was right. That's the satisfaction. And I think these don't happen every day. These are very precious moments. They happen once or twice in a scientific context, and when they happen, they're extremely rewarding. And this is the success, I think, which I look forward to, and that makes my career and makes me being in my career as a rewarding, as a very rewarding moment.
Okay, well, thank you for your precious time and thank you for answering our questions.
Thank you so much for interviewing me, Tejas. I really appreciate it, and you're such a bright kid, and I wish you also very good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would request everybody to stay tuned to our channel. I'll be uploading more videos about different professions. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.